Hello everybody, welcome to Lion Darts, welcome back, and welcome to my second Scolia review. I've been very lucky enough that Scolia has sent me out their Scolia 2 home system for me to review for you guys today, to give you some comparisons between the original home edition and this home edition, and obviously what benefits you from getting the new one and how it differs from the original home edition. So here it is, this is how it came today. Nice big massive box. The reason the box is so big for this specific version of the Home 2 edition is because it does include the light ring. First noticeable thing about this is that this will fit rigidly and directly onto a windmill plasma light surround, and there is a separate kit that you can buy that will attach straight into that. So when you are looking on the Scolia website to purchase your Home 2 system, if you do have a plasma light ring, you can just buy the arms themselves, and I'll go into more detail about that later. So obviously the box, nice and big, really like, nice cool frontage, Scolia Home 2 written on the front, the world's #1 auto scoring system for darts, and I genuinely believe it is. Flip the box around, have a little look at the back. It gives you a little bit of a what's in the box. So noticeable differences instantly is that it does come with full wireless capability with a built-in wireless dongle. So you don't have to have that LAN cable now to connect yourselves to the servers. It can do that completely wirelessly. So that's one less wire that you've got dangling down from the Scolia system itself. I like that because it makes it more aesthetically pleasing. Obviously there are ways that you can tidy your wires. You can use conduit, you can use different bits and pieces to sort of harness those wires and make them look neat, but that takes all the effort out of it for you. Another noticeable thing is it's a fully rigid structure, and I will show you that when I set it up. So the structure is completely rigid, whereas on the old home edition, as you probably, if you do have a Scolia home, you'll know that it's actually the surround that's just pushed onto 3 pins that are screwed into the wall, so it's fully detachable and it moves out. Sometimes you get movement, which is why on these original home systems there was a lot of requirement for recalibration. That Home 2 eliminates that because it's a fully rigid structure. That basically means that the calibration issues are not going to be a thing anymore. You're going to be able to turn up, switch the board on and know that it's going to be right every single time you switch it on, because nothing moves. The cameras don't move, the light ring doesn't move, everything's fixed to the wall, and it's a completely rigid structure. A lot like the Pro that you get with the original sort of 1 series of Scolias. That Pro system was a completely rigid structure. That's why I think they brought this in, because it just saves a lot of technical glitches, and it's another thing that's just not going to irritate you anymore. And I think that's really important, that when you live in a society and you live in a day and age that we do now, where convenience is actually key to 90% of our lives, if it's convenient, we'll do it. So this being as convenient as it is, by just being able to switch and plug and play, switch on and go, it's going to benefit a lot of people. I love it. I think it's going to be great. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a time-lapse video of me labouring away and putting this up on the wall. So when you've had a look at that time-lapse video, I'll then come back and I'll have a little chat about the actual system itself. Okay, so she's up, she's on the wall. Noticeable difference for me personally, bigger. Okay, the Home 2 is bigger. It takes up a larger surface area on the wall than the original Home edition did. For me, I find it's a bit more of an issue, purely because I've got a more confined space here. If this was at a venue, or if this was in a pub or a club, it would look really, really impressive. But in the home, it looks a little bit overwhelming, whereas the home edition was a lot more discreet. I think the two being attached to the plasma ring is notably one of the largest 360-degree light rings that's on the market. I don't think you can find one that's bigger than the plasma. And the fact that they've chosen that specific light ring to make to build the actual Home 2 around, I think it was possibly the right thing to do, purely because of the metal construction as opposed to plastic. I think that the longevity you'll get out of it with it being a metal ring as opposed to a plastic ring is a good choice. Do I think that they could have got a light ring made that's smaller, that falls into the same sort of size as the Thermo or the old Home edition? Yes, I think they could have done. Could they still sell it to a plasma audience? Yes, they could, because they have the kit that you can attach directly to the plasma by taking the legs off. For me, I think that would have been a better direction to have gone down, to have possibly brought out the Home edition that was smaller. But if you do own a plasma light ring, the fittings still work for that, and you can buy this product just the legs alone. I think it's a little big. It's basically virtually on the same size as the Pro, and I think that's basically, for a venue, I think it's fantastic. For the home, I think it is a little large, and I think it would have been better to have kept it as compact as possible. Second big notable thing, it's wireless. It comes with its own wireless dongle, comes with a TP-Link dongle, fits into the back of the machinery and the server box. So that is just behind your magnetic plate. The magnetic plate has two options for fascia. So you've got the S logo here on this fascia. If you flip it around, the fascia then changes to hold the entirety of the Scolia logo. Your server box is magnetic as well. That just comes down from your base plate here, and all of your connections are in the back. The wired connection is in the back of mine because I'm yet to register it. What you will have to do is you'll have to plug your LAN cable into your router at the first time of asking, just so that you can then set up the Wi-Fi connection through the dongle. So you will need the LAN cable that is in the box. You will have to still use that for the initial setup, and then the wireless dongle will then take over from that. So that will just then magnet straight up onto there. It just means that everything is easily accessible, and you can get to everything without having to undo any screws, without having to move anything. The only other thing that I would say is a slight negative, but it's more of an OCD thing, is the fact that the wires aren't as neat, and you can't tidy them away as neatly as you could with the original Home. That's my only downside to that. It just fitted so beautifully in the back of the polystyrene. It was just made brilliantly, and I think that this is slightly a little bit of a downgrade from that, because you just don't have that ability to keep everything neat and tidy. That's probably a me thing. It's probably more of an OCD thing, but I will find a way of getting them tidy and moving them and getting them tucked behind here and tucked behind there, and it will look fantastic by the time I'm finished. Design wise, the look of it, lovely. More ergonomic design to the actual cameras. It's less chunky, less blocky, less cubey. It's got sleeker lines, a lot smoother in the way it looks. The next thing that's going to be an extremely important thing for people is that you're not going to need to calibrate or move this again. Because it is a rigid fixed structure, the cameras will not change their position, they won't move, they won't be ever so slightly out, so your regions are going to be the same. You're not going to need to calibrate it, because it's going to have the same calibration from the minute when you put it up to date, or if you're still using it in a year's time, that is going to stay exactly the same. There's going to be no kind of deviation in the angles of the camera, which is really, really good, and a massive positive, because it eliminates that completely. Also, a couple of new releases software wise from Scolia since I reviewed your Home Flex review. They brought out private tournaments, which I think is fantastic. Means you can set up your own private tournament for friends and people that you know on the Scolia system. It does cost you coins. Coins are quite reasonably priced though. You probably get from £10, you probably get 2 or 3 32-man tournaments out of that, which I think is good value if you're running a channel like myself. It's good for you to have that interaction with your followers. You can set up a tournament, everybody can play, you can do commentary on it. I've done a couple of them and I've really enjoyed them. So that's a really good sort of addition to the software. Also, quick fire practice games, they're really good to check out ones, the high score ones. And the good thing about these is that you don't have to come out of the online lobby to actually play these practice games. You can do it whilst you're waiting in the lobby for a game. I think that's really advantageous as well, because sometimes in the lobbies you could be sending invites left, right and centre and get nothing through. At least this way you can just chuck on a quick practice game, have a quick practice, and then you can wait for an invite to come through. So it just keeps you warm. It's a way of keeping your arm warm and staying loose and being able to sort of hone in those sort of target areas for checking out and for helping you to take out those sort of ton-plus finishes. Gives you the option to do the maths as well, and it makes things a little bit quicker for you in your head. So when you do get that invite for that game, you're there, you're ready, and you just dive straight in warm. It's a really good addition. I think it's a fantastic little addition to the online capabilities of the Scolia. While we're talking about online capabilities, I think that for this price, you're getting a good system. I think the after sales advice that you get as well and the product investment from Scolia is fantastic as well. They update their servers, they maintain their servers, they're constantly doing things to improve the experience for you. And I think when you're paying for something that's as high end as this, in essence, you're making an investment, and what they do is they give you the ability to have confidence in that investment that you're making. And I really think that as a company, they've really sort of taken it to another level. There are other companies that are bringing out other models of automated scoring systems. They are bringing out other systems that you can buy from other companies. Will I go to those other companies? Highly unlikely. When you've got a company that have been doing this for as long as Scolia have, and that have been sort of building these servers, building this platform, creating and building and maintaining for so long, they know what they're doing, and it's not going to go wrong as often as a company that's going to come along, bring something out, sell hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and then the servers crash because it just can't maintain the level of power and the level of usage that something like this, with a community as big as it is, actually needs. So personally, I think put your confidence in Scolia if you're going for automated systems. If you have any questions or you have anything you'd like to speak about, please drop it in the comments. If you are looking to get a Scolia 2, head across to the Scolia website. When you're on the Scolia website, jump on there, hit the code Daniel Booth 180 in the coupon section, and that'll get you free shipping to the UK and Europe. It won't get you shipping to the US, unfortunately, guys, but that'll save you a little bit of money. And also, because it is under a certain value, you do not have to pay customs charge once it comes into the UK. All you will have to do is just add the value-added tax on top of the price that you pay on the Scolia website. So just put 20% on top, and that should cover you and get you in your mind of what it's going to cost. Okay? If you do need anything, if you do have any questions, please pop them in the comments. Other than that, it's been an absolutely great experience to set up and play on the Scolia 2. I think personally it is a fantastic system. It's the next generation of the Scolia system. Would I have it smaller? Yes, I would. But it's still going to be a phenomenal system for people to have in their home. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll speak again soon. Take care.